In today's Clash Royale video, I'm going to show you all the information for the new final balance changes update in the Clash Royale May season. All the final changes, and I can also tell you guys there might be some differences to the work in progress balances. In case you guys don't want to miss any videos such as like in the future, make sure to subscribe and also make sure to use creator code Morten in the shop for the new season starting really soon at Monday. So if you guys want to buy the pass, make sure to support me. So guys, overall, of course, most of the changes are the same, but they added a really interesting one, especially at the end. So first of all, we go into the evolution archers bonus HP, as we all know, gets completely removed. So they die to arrows, but they get a bit more damage, 18% more, which I feel like is pretty nice since, yeah, I mean, like if you remove some of the HP, you can just add like some of this cool damage. And I think this is pretty cool overall. I love evolution archers, one of my favorite evolution. They can be so broken sometimes. Next up, we got the evolution barbarians. As you guys know, they kinda removed some of the bonus HP the evolution barbarians have compared to the normal barbarians, but they still make them like not dying to fireball. This I think is the main thing. So a bit less HP might change some interaction, but still won't die from fireball. But I also made sure to kind of buff the duration, so like how long it takes for them to rage up, which will be a bit faster, which I think is really cool, like 50% faster actually. I think it's gonna be really big in some scenarios. Next up we got the bats. I feel like bats, this might be a big change for bats, bro, because they kind of bonus first hit speed 1% like longer. So I guess the main key cut, like the main key about bats, why they're like a good evolution in most of the cases, is because they added this back in the days. Like first of all, when bats came out, they were shit, bro. They were absolutely rubbish because it took so long for them to get the damage out. Because I mean, like the main evolution, how it works, bro, you need to get damage on top of something and then they heal up and then you get like a ton of value of them. Currently also in the meta, they pretty suck, so it takes them now more time to attack troops. Since they're removing that, so overall I feel like there will be a huge change, and I don't really think bats are going to be viable anymore after the update coming, by the way, at Tuesday. So next up we got the battle ram. I mean, pretty easy explanation. I think it stays the same. The evolved barbarian nerf of course affects, or like rework also affects the battle ram, and also they're removing the pushback. So this is like really interesting because what they're saying is evolved battle ram will have more counterplay as it won't push back heavy troops like Pekka and Mighty Miner, but it will still have the same potential as it had before in most cases. So this is what I'm saying. So some of you guys I think understood that wrong. Maybe I also did understand that wrong. But if I'm correct, it still pushbacks troops, but just not the biggest of beefy tanks. Like not like the monk, right? The monk is pushback everything, golems, packers, and so on. The battle ram will just push back the normal troops, which we all kind of know, but not the big guns, not the big guys like golem, packer, and so on. So this is really important for you guys to know. So next up, I think the easiest change, right? Evolution bomber, 2 cycle after the update, 1 cycle now, and I guess everybody agrees, bro. Every time I'm playing against bomber, I'm losing because he spams bomb at the bridge. I'm predicting it. It still gets damage. I'm still making a negative elixir trade. I'm just closing the app and start Brawl Stars. By the way, if you're buying the Battle Pass and Brawl Stars, also use code Morten. It's nice support. So next up, we got the Evolution Cracker. Evolution Cracker gets like a ton of changes, as we all know. Like really big change. So bonus HP completely removed, as we all know, right? Minus 23%. So it dies to arrows, same as archers. They add like a bit of the sparks duration, small sparks duration, and slow to sparks on ground. So kinda, how do I want to say it, like kinda similar to the evolution cracker back in the days. You guys remember the broken evolution cracker days? I think it was a bit better than this stats, but kinda similar, I think. So evolution cracker in his prime, but dies to arrows now. I think this might be a good mix. Let's see what's happening there. Next up we got evolution knight. So they just nerfed the bonus HP like minus 8%, so it doesn't have the same HP as the knight, but almost. So instead of like 1.2, 1.1 now, and they actually also decide to remove the shield effect, not the shield effect from the evolution, but like I think they kind of also wanted in the work in progress balance change, I talked about that, they kind of wanted to add something to make the shield I think a bit better, like this, the damage resistancy, but they kind of removed that, so the evolution knight overall just gets nerfed, which I think is deserved, because overall evolution knight is currently one of the best evolutions, especially currently with the dagger duchess meta. Next up we got the evolution mortar. So they just nerfed the bonus HP minus 17%. They actually remove it, so this evolution mortar will have the same HP as the mortar. Man, I love this changes, bro. Next up we got the evolution royal giant, and the evolution royal giant will have the same HP as the royal giant, but the normal royal giant will get 3% more damage. Not damage, HP. So, Evolution Warrior Giant, same HP as normal Warrior Giant. Normal Warrior Giant gets a bit more damage. This means, of course, maybe a bit more HP. So this, of course, also means the Evolution Warrior Giant also has a bit more of HP. So overall, it's still a big difference, right? Currently, like the Warrior Giant gets like plus 3% HP, right? The normal Warrior Giant gets plus 3% HP, but the Evolution Warrior Giant gets minus 9% HP. So overall, I would say it's pretty clear nerf. Next up, we got the Royale Recruits, and it's kind of the same happening there. Bonus HP completely removed, which means minus 10%. Evolution Recruits have the same HP now as the normal Recruits, but the normal Recruits get a small buff with 3% more HP. So this makes sense, right? Evolution from Warrior Giant and Warrior Recruits both get an HP nerf from like 9 and 10%, but the normal card gets a 3% HP buff. So I'm really interested to see what is gonna happen about that. Next up, we got the Evolution Skeletons, bro. So they're just nerfing the bonus first hit speed, which I think is pretty cool because the first hit speed is kind of what made them broken sometimes, but that's also what made them viable. Back in the days, Evolution Skeletons suck. This is kind of what makes this card good. So this is the thing. Next up, we got the Evolution Tesla. So they're removing the bonus HP once again, which I think is cool, but they're adding a shockwave when it destroys. So currently, it's just like you guys know that you're using the Evolution Tesla here, as you guys can see, against like a Hog Rider or against like bats, Lava Hound, and so on. And like using your Tesla, the shockwave comes out, kills bats, stuns Hog Riders. This will also happen when it dies. So it will be way more effective against big beatdown pushes, will be way more effective against balloon decks, and so on. Next up, we got the Evolution Valk. So they actually nerfed the bonus HP, not entirely, minus 4%. So currently it's 1.15%, like 1.15, like more HP, and afterwards it will be just 1.1 of the normal Valk, the HP amount. But also buffed the tornado damage to 11%, which I think is pretty interesting. So the tornado does a bit more damage. Might be interesting in some cases. I think it kills like troops faster now. So this is actually really, really big. But let's see. I firstly think Evolution Valk is currently not that great in the meta anyway. Next up, we got Evolution Wall Breaker, bro. Bro, they suck so bad, man. Every tower troop just counters them completely. That's so sad. I love Wall Breakers. So they buffed the runner speed, as you guys know, from fast to very fast, but they also nerfed the runner damage. So minus 50%. So I'm kind of want to see. So it's like more of the goal to get them to damage, to get them to tower, I would say. So yeah, this is really interesting. Let's see. I mean, to be fair, Wall Breaker currently are so dead, unfortunately. Next up, Evo Zap. It still stays the same. It's the work in progress damage, work in progress balance change. Second and third zap damage gets nerfed by 50%, which means Skelly Drinks survive, at example, and this might be really, really big impact. And these are all the evolutions which get a nerf, bro, and I'm just feeling this is really, really cool. Next up, we're gonna take a look at the tower troops, bro. 2 out of 3 tower troops get a nerf. Which ones? You can guess now. You have 3 seconds. Okay, so we're gonna start, of course, with the Dagger Duchess. Dagger Duchess gets like an HP nerf, which is really, really good, minus 14%. It's actually big. You also saw us on the dev account yesterday's video, in case you guys didn't check out against Ian. You can really see like the HP difference there. And also Cannoneer does a bit less damage, minus 5%, which I think can be also really, really huge. I'm really happy that this is gonna happen. And next up, we got the Elixir Collector. Still stays the same. So overall, most of them stays the same. Like, I think the Evolution Valkyrie kind of got a rework, and also the Knight, but we also have like 1 edition of card. Not 2 editions, which I would have loved to see, but at least one. So Elixir Pump, currently, I wouldn't say one of the most broken cards in the entire game, but one of the, I mean, like, I don't know, maybe one of the most broken cards, because they're just like so matchup dependent, and they kind of they change the duration, the elixir generation time, so it will be just like, I guess, a bit easier to counter overall. I want to really see how it's going to be in-game, but so it takes like a bit longer to get the elixir out. I really want to see that. So exact stats for the elixir generation time will be like 33% longer. Duration also 32% long. I really want to see what's happening, but especially with the Void Spell, Elixir Pump will have problems, bro. Next up, we got the Drilled, and now, as we all know, Drill will be absolutely able to counter now, or you can be able to counter now the Goblin Drill. The spawn starts 60% slower, which means the first Goblin doesn't spawn as fast as it usually is, which I think is pretty big, because normally, currently, you cannot, if you're not predicting the golden drill, you cannot react that fast. This is what's happening, and now I think 2 cards are missing. Poison, and also the Little Prince. The Little Prince actually doesn't receive a nerf, I think for many, or like for a few reasons, because I guess he, like the balance change guy from Supercell, who's like actually doing this like for the first time, bro. He's the GOAT, by the way, clap in the chat. I guess his thing is like he wants to kind of have like a bit more time to think about the best solution for the Little Prince, and I kind of agree with that. I just feel like Little Prince currently is broken, yes, but what would be the best Little Prince change, bro? I don't really have too many ideas of making the Little Prince way worse overall. Of course, you could nerf damage, HP, something like this, but I guess the Little Prince really needs to rework overall, and they need to find a good way of nerfing him. I'm not really 1% sure what's gonna happen about this, but we got the poison at least. Crown Tower damage minus 18%. So overall, the poison still kills musketeers, still kills wizards, besides the evolved wizard, but it's not going to be able to deal that much damage anymore, which I think is an absolutely cool change, bro. I want to see more of this type of stuff, making spells less effective against towers, because I feel like this defensive playstyle in Clash Royale shouldn't really be that great. And let's see, this are like all the 20 changes. I think the biggest final balance changes of all time in Clash Royale history. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe in case you guys don't want to miss any videos just like that in the future. And also let me know, guys, do you like the balance changes or not? I'm out. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. Goodbye.